Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Entropia content. I think I'm getting really bad lag right off the start. Sorry everyone, today's episode is probably going to be filled with glitches. I just figured I'd give an update to everyone what happened. Mindark tried to help me out a little bit, but hasn't been going very well. Basically the story of what happened was I was flying to this planet, Toulan, and you may have noticed my resolution on the game is way different right now. And what happened was I was forced to turn up the resolution. And how this occurred was I tried landing on Toulan, and originally I was a little bit pissed off because I was having those regular issues landing on Toulan where when you try to land it won't let you because the way Mindark designed Toulan, they fucked it up and nerfed it so you can't land on the planet like you can every other planet in the game. So then I tried landing on the space station, see if I could figure it out. No. Same jazz. It's like when you go to the space station, it won't help you get to the planet. So I ended up having to look it up on Google to find out how to get to fucking Toulan. Like, I've been to Toulan multiple times, but this issue is so fucked up that like I can't just remember how to fucking do it. So looked it up on Google and it's like, yeah, to get on Toulan, you don't fly to the planet and you don't fly to the space station. Guess how you get there? Anyone want to guess? Here, I gotta fix this. God damn it. No, anyways, to get to Toulan, you have to fly north of the space station. Planet is what? East? But no, you have to fly north to get to the planet. So I don't know, for me, if I was one of the owners of the planet, Toulan, I would like hardcore bitch. I'd be like, yo, like, I'm paying you maintenance fees and server fees and all this. My planet doesn't even work. So can you fix the planet maybe before I get the next bill? I don't know. So anyways, I messaged Mindark because I tried everything, went into safe mode, wasn't even going to try uninstalling and reinstalling the game. But then I'm like, fuck it, I should message Mindark first and see what they're saying. So guess what they said? Luckily, they have advice on how to fix this problem. Doesn't say it anywhere. It says hit the reset button in the tools. So I went to the tools, like at that system thing when you launch the game, and I noticed, yeah, in the right next to the safe mode button, they have the reset button. I've never tried it before. So I did what Loki said from chat and hit reset. Boom. The game worked again. Well, actually, it didn't work again because I still had it set to safe mode. And then when I tried to log in, it's like, no, you still can't log in. So I messaged Loki again. I'm like, hey, I tried your reset thing. It didn't work. She's like, oh, take safe mode off and then hit reset. So that's what I did. Took safe mode off, then hit reset. Boom, I'm into the game. Guess what the catch is? Toulan's completely broken. You can't even get on the planet in safe mode or low. And I know with my computer, running it on the medium and high settings, fucking sounds like a plane taking off. It's like way too much processing power for my PC. It just starts overheating and fucking shit. So I usually turn it down to low or safe mode when I play the game. And that allows me to stream too. And I'm running a fucking top of the line like supercomputer. So I don't understand how everyone else is running the game on higher settings. Like I'm running, what is it, like 16 gigs of DDR5 RAM. Fucking like top of the line processor. Top of the line video card. My video card costs like $1,000. It can't run the game. This is a game that's like, what, 10, 20 years old? Anyways, less bitching and let's, yeah, so what happened was I ended up experimenting with the settings for Toulan, and if I keep it on medium, I can still get into the game. But anything higher or lower than medium, the planet's completely unusable. So again, if I was the owners of Toulan, I'd be like, yo, Mindark, my fucking planet doesn't even work. Could you, like, I don't know, fix it? Sell less deeds, fix the fucking game? God, I hate playing Entropia with the higher graphics settings. Like, I don't know, like, I'm a big player that likes to pick up fruit and stuff off the ground. All this grass is fucking annoying as hell. Like, I don't want to see any of this grass. I liked it being able to just turn it off. Like, there could be stones and fruit all over the place. I wouldn't see any of it because the fucking grass is blocking it all. I don't know, for today, I figured what I'd do is summarize some of the bullshit that I've been seeing on Toulan. Actually, let's go do some missions. Fuck, this is getting annoying. Now, I was really hoping after the last whole incident with Mindark fucking the blueprints and the Mankini situation, I was like, holy fuck, man. This is another case where Mindark's complete incompetence has fucking cost me a lot of ped. It's like, they're lucky that they have that in their terms of service, because, man, if they had to pay people back every time they fucked them over, the Mindark would have zero money. Now, I swear, most of their profits come from making a game that doesn't work properly, and they can just soak people because they're fucking trying to get shit to work and losing money while it's happening. Like me, flying around in space trying to land on Toulan. I don't know how many ped I wasted doing that. Quite a few. Yeah, I don't want to try making this video all completely negative, so I figure what else I'll do is I'll go to the oil rig and pick up some oil. That should cheer me up. We'll see, I jinxed that one. Oh god, if I could even remember what the fucking place is called. I don't know, I'm trying to zoom in on the map, like hit these plus buttons. It doesn't work. So I would like to zoom in and see like the map, but no, it's not an option. And I'm trying to remember where the oil rig is. I think it was somewhere down here, but to be honest, I can't remember. So it'll be like a new adventure. Yeah, if anyone's wondering what's the deal with my vaporizer and why it's working different, once the oil tank is full, I think this is where it is. Yeah, once the vapor oil tank is full, it starts to impede the airflow a little bit. So before each hoot, you have to pop the oil tank. To do that, you just take a little quick puff and it pops the oil enough for air to make it through. It's like, fuck, I don't even know where I'm flying. Oh my god. Come on, arrow, face the right direction. Alright, so if anyone's been to the Toulan oil rig before, this might be a little bit of a repeat for you, but for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's quite the adventure. Now, a big shout out to Andrew, an Entropia player. We often, well not often, we occasionally talk on Facebook in the groups. And he told me about the tricks and how to get to this oil rig. Sadly, I've forgotten all of them. So, it's not that sad. At least I get a new adventure trying to figure it out again. Now, I think I was here, what, 6 months ago or something? Maybe not that long ago. From what I remember, I had to fly near this, like, castle or something. And then, when I was getting close to the castle, it actually wouldn't allow me to fly any closer, so I had to walk the rest of the way. This is kind of looking familiar. I'm assuming everything looks different now too, because I have all the new resolution settings. Before, none of this area would have had any trees, I don't think. I don't know, this is definitely a longer flight than I recall, so I'm pretty sure I went to the wrong teleporter. If only I could zoom in on the map and see, but it's too much to ask. Right, looks like I'm starting to see some stuff I remember. And if only the ship controls were still consistent. Okay, there's that castle. How close can I fly to it before I can't fly anymore? Yeah, this is definitely a different way, because I remember having to swim to get there before. Oh well. Oh, fuck's sakes. God damn, I hate the new controls in the game so much. Like when they take it where you can't fucking control anything anymore, all of a sudden it's like point of view. Is like someone actually playing the game in that setting? Like what is it? If I hit Alt, all of a sudden I can't fucking move, and every time I move the mouse, it just moves my character's vision. Like how retarded kind of setting is that? Well, maybe I shouldn't be calling it that, and I mean retarded in a good way. Just in case anyone at YouTube's listening. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to run to the castle without encountering any mobs. Because I don't want to be killed along the way. Right, so the deal with this oil rig last time was when I got here, the oil was like fucking huge payouts. But the catch was there was these mobs that were going around that wouldn't stop attacking you. So it's one of those oil rigs where they designed it where you're constantly being attacked. It's not like the other oil rigs where sometimes you can get rid of the mobs so you can just collect oil in peace. Definitely won't be seeing that here. What I did try doing, yeah, there's where I came in before. I don't know, every other time I've flown to this place, I was coming in through that way. So I don't know, like, how I managed to find a different way to get here this time. I'm pretty sure it's a shittier way and takes longer, wasting oil to fly here, but anyways. And occasionally there was a player here that I'd have to compete with to take the oil from, but usually when that happened I was just like, hey man, cheers, you can have the oil, I'll come back later. Because there wasn't really hardly any people here, which I was surprised. The fucking oil rig was like huge payout. Can't remember how much I made. 1 or 2 days I think I had almost 20 pet of oil. It's like, holy fuck, that's almost as good as that oil rig on Cali that pays out good. Yeah, and if anyone's wondering, the oil rig on Calypso that pays out really good, what is it, the fire one or the sand one or whatever it's called? When I first started playing the game, I could never get to that oil rig. Like, even just getting close to the land area, the Russian snipers would get me. But, what happened was, I don't know if they left, but now that lockdown, or that rig isn't locked down anymore. So I tried going to see if I could make it. Not only did I make it, but I picked up like 13 pet of oil. One pickup when I got there. I was like, holy fuck. Jackpot. No, then eventually some people came and started killing me, but I was like, shit, I made it to the best oil rig in the game, picked up oil. I tried for years and I couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden I pulled it off. So anyways, to get the oil, you have to go up to the top of this castle, and then it's by this thing. Oh, we got a player here who's stealing the oil. Bastard. See if I can sneak up without him noticing. Pretty sure he'll just kill me. Alright, so this is the oil rig on Toulan. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you can find some oil here. I forget what button it is to pick up oil, so I'm not going to be able to get it. As soon as I go to pick it up, he'll probably just shoot me. And if I could remember what key it was to pick up oil, I could probably pick it up fast enough to get it before he kills me. Or maybe he'll be a big fan of the show and he'll help me collect oil. And same thing with this oil. It tends to oh fuck, he's shooting at me. The same thing about this rig is the fucking oil is like, it sprays out around the rig. I don't know, I've got lots of health, so if this guy's gonna be spending armor to fucking ammo to shoot me, he's probably gonna lose a lot. Or maybe it's the enemy that's trying to kill me and not the character. Pretty sure if he was shooting at me, I would have been dead already. Maybe he was just shooting at the enemies that were trying to kill me. Now, I can't remember what the enemies were. They were like some sort of banshees that are flying around the sky. Yeah, it looks like this guy's been consistently picking up the oil. I don't even see any around here. I don't know, if I was assuming he's probably away from keyboard, waiting for oil to respawn, then he'll come back and he'll see me collecting it, and then he'll be like, you'll shoot at me. Yeah, someone just shot at me. They missed. They missed again. Is it the creature in the sky? Yeah, it is. Alright, I was gonna say, because I was like, if that was the player shooting at me, I'd probably be dead already. Yeah, so this is the excitement of the oil rig. Having this guy shoot at the... Oh, he is shooting at that. So I'll say thank you to him. Yeah, for a second I thought he was shooting at me. I'm like, wait a minute. If he's missing that much, he can't be shooting at me. Maybe he's one of the Russian players and he has to translate the chat. Haven't gotten a response yet. No, my Russian isn't the greatest. I can only count to 10. Now, I started to try to learn Bulgarian, and then I noticed a lot of the Russian words are very similar. I guess the whole Slavic language thing. That'd be kind of nice if I could at least pick up 1 barrel of oil to show you guys that this is a real oil rig. No sign of oil yet. Yeah, so what's your guys' impression? Do you like turning the graphics setting up and cluttering the game with stuff that makes the game run slower and harder on your PC and prevents you from finding anything on the ground? Do you like that? Is that your kind of thing? Now, I admit, like, seeing shadows on the ground and stuff, that is kind of neat. If I was Mindark, what I would do is ditch all the fucking grass and shit, and then focus more of the resources on the shadows and stuff. Like, I like seeing shadows and shiny textures. I just don't like grass everywhere. Grass and trees. It's too cluttered. It's kind of like when you're doing art, and like you can make art more simplistic and have it nicer, rather than over cluttering it. I don't know. To me, I'm wondering if any oil is even coming out of the rig. Because I noticed that happened here when I was collecting. Sometimes there'd be no oil coming out, and sometimes it'd always be coming out. Oh, here's a barrel. Right, so you can see I got 90 oil. I just wanted to show everyone. Alright, so I figured I'd try to be nice and not take all the oil. I told him I got 1 barrel just to show you guys. Now I'll let him get some because he's actually spending ammo. Well, and that's the other thing. One of the viewers was commenting about how the oil rigs work. And they said they believe that the oil rig will only shoot out oil if you kill someone. Which, I don't know, like, I've gone to, what is it, the oil rig in the Arctic on Rocktropia, and I know guaranteed, well, maybe not guaranteed. I was just thinking, like, every time I go there, there's always fucking oil. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said that it's okay. He's just here shooting them. It's like, well, man, this guy kicks ass. If he's just going to be sitting here shooting while I collect oil, this is my favorite fucking planet. Even with all the graphics issues. Now, I know it's probably not Toulan's fault. They're probably talking to MindArc about it. Maybe they got some big update that they're working on, and that's why the graphics are nerfed right now. Technically, it's not that bad. I can still play. It's just now I hear a fucking plane taking off next to me. Hope it doesn't interfere with the sound in the stream too much. Now, it's funny. I wanted to make my computer quieter, so I eventually started swapping out all the parts that had fans. Taking out the old hard drive, putting in a solid state drive. It's like, really? I think my computer has no moving parts except for the CPU fan? Fuck, is it loud. Still sounds like a jet taking off. It's like, I don't know, if I was building a computer, that would probably be my main feature. I'd be like, I built a computer that makes no noise. I'd be like, you know how many people would be like, holy shit, a computer that makes no noise? I'm buying that one. It's like, I don't care what else it does. Reminds me of the Xbox. Anyone ever had the Xbox and you boot that thing up? Yeah, that's what my computer CPU fan sounds like. It's like No, I'm so glad that it worked, because like earlier today I was bitching and complaining. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm sick of this game, won't work. Even did a whole show complaining at that fire set about how I couldn't get into the game. I'm like, fuck this shit, man. Instead of bitching, I'm just gonna go talk to Entropia, see if I can get in. Now I'm in. See, I noticed that with a lot of problems in the world these days. People are like, oh, let's acknowledge we have problems. Let's acknowledge we have problems. It's like, no one's fucking not acknowledging that we have problems. The situation is, we're trying to find solutions. It's like, oh, there's violence and all this. It's like, yeah, well, yeah, who didn't notice that? It's like, most cities have like 2 fucking gang shootings a night with pedestrians getting hit in the crossfire. It's like, everyone's kind of pissed, and we notice this fucking violence thing is an issue. I really don't think there's fucking... Well, I don't want to start talking about all that. God damn it. Give me some oil. Now, the basketball team that I watch, the Toronto Raptors, they're getting involved in all this now. I was like, well, that's cool. Let's see some solutions. No, just more bitching. Yeah, I remember back in the day when I was doing those Lesser Elijah missions to different planets, trying to get the crafting blueprints. Came to Toulan, and here, like, there's like a lot of fucking good blueprints for clothes on this planet. Like, this is where you get the Elder Coat blueprint. Trying to think. A bunch of the women's clothes. Like, as far as women's clothing goes, I think this is the planet that has the most prints exclusive to women. Like, I put some of them in my Monria shop if anyone wants to check out the prints I got at this planet from doing crafting missions with Lesser Elijah. I loaded them all up in my shop. I believe they're on the table when you first walk in the door. Oh yeah, and I believe I forgot to price a whole bunch of items in my FOMA shop. Sorry about that, guys. I realized it as soon as I landed on Rocktropia. I'm like, fuck. Forgot to price my items. Yeah, and if anyone's watching the show, and they want to find my shops, and they didn't click the more info button and found it in the description, I'll show you guys now. One is Crunk stall number 2, and that's at Camp Crunk, where they hold the Sunday events. My booth is right next to the teleporter. The other one is FOMA shop 27. I believe if you take teleporter E, like cell block E or whatever it says, yeah, and then once you take that, it's not too far from the teleporter. Now what I did is I set up my shop in the basement on FOMA to hold a whole bunch of just TT plus 1 items. So in case anyone wants to donate 1 ped to the show, you can just swing by and pick up one of those items. You can just TT the item if you don't need it. I think there's I just did it with a bunch of blueprints that were really low end. But if you want to buy some low end blueprints and donate to the show at the same time, there you go. Perfect opportunity. Right, so I've been pretty happy with this oil rig. I can't believe I got 90 pack off the first barrel. So you can see like some mornings I'll log in on Toulan, I'll be like, hey, let's swing by the oil rig. I'll get here, there'll be like 6 barrels laying around. So that's like what, around 6 ped? I'm like, holy fuck, there's just 6 ped laying here. Sick. Yeah, but other times you come to this oil rig and it's really slow. Oh yeah, that's what I was getting at. The one player was telling me at Rocktropia, he's like, yeah, you gotta shoot the mobs in order for the oil to start coming out. Which is really weird, because a lot of times I've done oil rigging, and most times I never see anyone shooting. Like I must have collected oil at rigs maybe thousands and thousands of times, and maybe only twice did I see someone there killing. Like here is one of the first times in years I've seen someone killing at an oil rig. Might have been 2-3 years since the last time I seen it. So I was like, isn't that weird? How have I been picking up oil at the rigs unless other people were killing at the rig, left, and then I just happened to come when they were gone? But the mobs, the oil was still coming because they killed so many? That could be it. Yeah, does anyone else want to comment in the chat? Do you know if that's really true? Maybe it's only certain oil rigs that work like that. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Some oil rigs in the game are set out to constantly distribute oil, while others, they have to be shot, like mobs have to be shot in order for oil to come out. I was thinking if I was going to invent a video game like Entropia, that's how I would have the oil rig set up. So that way you're guaranteed that you can keep giving oil away to players, but you won't lose money because it only gives it away every time you've made a certain amount. Sort of like the slot machines at the casino. I believe they have to win the casino, what is it, like $10,000 for every $100 they pay to the players? Some crazy ratio like that. Like, I don't know, back when I was a kid, or not a kid, a teenager, like 19, 20, casinos were very easy to win in. I don't know what changed. Like I know with the betting tables, like blackjack and roulette and all that, the way they changed it to make everyone lose is they upped the minimum bet. Like when I first started going to casinos, I could play a blackjack table with a $2 minimum bet. So technically, if you have $100 and you sit down at the blackjack table, that gives you 50 fucking tries, right? Like that's a hell of a lot of hands of blackjack. But today, walk into that same casino, guess what the minimum bet is? It's not 2, it's not 5, it's not 10, it's fucking $20 a hand. So I'm thinking, dear God, if I have $100 and I sit down on a blackjack table, how much hands does that give you? 5? Compared to 50? Like, that's a significant difference in how the game works, right? Like, what are the odds that you're going to win money when you only play 5 hands compared to if you play 50? Like, 50, that's your fishing rod in there quite a bit in order to hit those jackpots of blackjack. So, I don't know. And I think the slot machines, they changed a lot of the fucking payouts. Like, I remember back in the, well, yeah, it was back in the day when I was playing blackjack, there'd be people playing slot machines all around the blackjack tables, and like every 5 minutes you'd have someone jumping up going, holy shit, I'm rich. And it's like, now when you go to the casino, sure, you hear the occasional people going, yay, I fucking hit the jackpot, but you ask them, they're like, oh, no, I'm not rich. It's like, I'm way down. It's like that payout that you're seeing me get is like 10% of my winnings back, or my losses. So I was like, holy fuck, right? Like, back in the day, when you hit a jackpot at the casino, you usually walked out rich. And you don't really see a lot of people walking out of the casino, jumping up and down, going, yay, I'm rich now, right? If anything, you look at the casino entrance, and there's just people, like, walking out, like, so depressed, they lost. Every time they go to the casino, it's happening. So I don't know. It's kind of scary. I'm kind of glad we're fortunate with MindArc that, as bad as the odds are in MindArc, I don't think they've drastically decreased as bad as casinos have. I don't know, has anyone else noticed that with casinos where they live, or maybe it's just a thing in my province? Did they raise the minimum bets to ridiculous amounts? The fucking payouts are almost like fractions of what they used to be at the slot machines. Like, I shouldn't complain. Like, I'm actually been playing slot machines for a number of years, and I managed to get a few strategies where I know I can just break even. And it's like, if I'm breaking even, at least I'm getting free drinks at the casino, so it's not that bad. But that's with, like, really slow betting, like 1 cent bets, trying to fucking manage it for hours and hours on end. Most players aren't going to want to do that. That's like the sweating of casinos. I know, and then I started getting into the higher end machines just to try them out to see if I had any luck. And like the Chinese machines, I don't know what it is. A few of those, I've had good luck on. Like, I would come in, place like a $10, $20 bet on one pull in the slot machine, boom, hit like a $300 jackpot. See, that's the thing, like, a lot of people will be like doing that sweating trick on slot machines where they pay these minimum bets and 1 cent, make it last for hours, occasionally raise the bet to like 2 or 3 cents, hit a bonus game, break even with all your winnings. But I don't know. You're never really going to get rich doing that. Although I have to say, the biggest payout I ever had off a ridiculously small bet, I think it was either 2 or 5 cents, and I won $50. I was like, what are the fucking ratios to that? It's like that at 10,000 to 1 win. No, everyone was jumping her up and down at the casino saying, oh, you hit the ultimate fucking rare thing on the casino. My 2 cent bet won me like fucking $50. I was like, shit, too bad I didn't bet $10 on that, right? I'd be rich. Now, I'm so glad in a way that after my concussion injury, I learned that going to the casino and chasing money is kind of like a waste of your whole life. Not to like say like doing it occasionally is wasting your life, but if you're like doing it all the time. Like, I knew some of my friends got so addicted to PokerStars, they would play it like 12 to 14 hours a day. Like, they would barely get up to eat or go to the washroom. And they were doing it for years on end. I think my one friend, he said he made $50,000 off PokerStars, that he was happy, but then he eventually realized that for the amount of time that he was spending in PokerStars, like Raven Jade has talked about sweating, it's like, sometimes like the amount of time you spend sweating, you could have just went to a regular job and fucking spent half the time and made 10 times more money. Well, that's what my friends playing PokerStars eventually started to realize. Like, they're always sitting there waiting for the next hand, waiting for the next hand. Like, guys, if you could just like put some of that effort into like writing a novel or designing a t-shirt to sell on a website, it's like you put in way less fucking time and you're going to get way more revenue. But then it's the fun factor too. Like, I actually like going to the casino and just stalling because, like I was saying, you can get free drinks. Sometimes they'll have cool sporting events playing. Crowds of people that you can watch losing all their money. Sometimes dances and live bands. So that's why I was like really kind of disappointed that casinos would leave. I know some people are against casinos because they're bad for the community, encourage people to become addicts. But man, you shouldn't punish people that are able to control their addictions. Or at least manage them. It's like when one town has an alcoholic, do they fucking ban booze in the whole village? I hope not. Alright, so Oil's been pretty fucking slow here. And I figure I should really leave some oil for this guy. He's sitting here shooting the mobs, and here I'm running around trying to take the oil. It's not very nice. So I'll wait till he's done, maybe come back. Yeah, I figure I'd invite this guy to a sweat team. Try to at least pay him back a little. Offer my social services. I'll talk to you, man. I'll be your friend. Today on the vape menu, Pure Sun Farm Sativa. Little bit of gold seal hash and vapor oil and keef. Now some days I think about the bowls I pack now compared to when I used to before legalization, when it was just for medical purposes in my back. It's like, man, it's like the quality that we're getting and the THC is just like freaking off the hook. Alright, while he answers that, we'll do a quick message from the sponsor. Today's show was brought to you by Crack! Crack! It'll fuck you up. Right, I really gotta stop making funny faces to the camera. Seeing the reflection of someone, I'm like, dear God. It's like, what is wrong with me? It's like, what are you on? That's what I was thinking, like, being a vlogger is actually the perfect solution for a lot of people that have issues. Because, like, say your issue is you talk to yourself too much in public. Now you can just carry around a vlogging camera. Be like, hey, it's my job. Just doing my job. Or if someone catches you talking to yourself, you'd be like, oh fuck, I forgot the camera at home. I was just vlogging. Now, for people that like don't understand human psychology or have never really looked into why people talk to themselves, it's like I actually figured it out when I was caring for someone who was having the delusions of talking to themselves. And then I realized what it is some people have imagination so vivid that what they're imagining is actually manifesting in front of them. So it's like they can manifest that they're having a conversation with someone and then start talking to them and then not realize that they've taken their imagination to the point where it's actually starting to exhibit itself in real life. And then you're like, holy shit, like this person's having a whole conversation with someone you can't see. And then you realize, oh, that's why. Because they're imagining talking to someone they were just seeing in the hallway 5 minutes ago. And they're imagining that the conversation is still going. So then they keep talking as if the person's there. But then anyone else around is like, holy shit, that person's talking to themselves. It looks so weird. I'm sure that's not the same thing that's happening in every case, but you never know, right? Oh, he said he wants to sweat. That's cool. It's like, here I ask him and then leave because I got distracted talking to you guys. Fuck. I would have been better off talking to myself. Yeah, it says he's up for it, so I'll tell him. Cool. And I think the loot from the ones we're sweating actually has a high markup. Well, that was nice of him. At least he let me collect 1 barrel of oil here. Oh, there's another one. Holy, that one was over a ped. Can you imagine like logging in the morning, running here and just picking up like 6, 7 barrels laying on the ground? It's fucking unreal. I'll tell him what I'm doing with the sweat. I collect sweat to craft. Yeah, maybe he'll want to get into crafting with sweat too. I like teaching people how to use the Lesser Elijah print. Although some people are complaining, saying that when they use the Lesser Elijah print, they never get any good prints. And it actually happened to Beamer. He used to complain about the same thing, because I'd be like, man, I'm having great luck. Try this, Beamer. And he would always say, no, he doesn't get the same luck. And I think what it is a lot of cases I put in a huge ped roll. Like if you're doing a 1,000 peg crafting run, the chances of hitting prints are increased because you have a giant run, right? If you're running through like a 10 ped run or a 100 ped run, probably gonna have way less chances of hitting prints. And I believe your skill level. Like I don't know if anyone watched the episode where I showed my crafting skills. Alright, he's saying something about linking the area. Alright. Yeah, it sounds like he might be from Eastern Europe. His name is Vladimir. Alright. Let's close some of these other ones so I can fit Vladimir. Where am I? I'll take one last spin for oil. It's kind of cruel, but dear God, man. So many years of playing Mario and Sonic. I just want to run around collecting shit. It's like, where's some rings and coins? I need them. Now, I remember when I was like really young and pennies were still worth something. We would do that sometimes. Just go around and like look for pennies on the ground. It's funny how much you could find. Like some days we'd find 30, 60 pennies. And it's like that was in the day when you could buy shit in the store for a penny. Like that candy that you could buy for a penny. Maybe they still have penny candies. Back in my day, we used to buy drugs from gangs. Now, if anyone wonders why I do these weird things, I usually don't do them in real life. Usually. Now, a few of the viewers from our other game were posting that they really liked it. They thought it was funny. So, I don't know. If it gets me a few subs, I don't mind doing it occasionally. It's like what I'll do for subs. I'm horrible. Oh yeah, what the hell am I doing? Like, let's run back. Oh god, I gotta go all the way, forget this. I'm just hitting T. Normally what I do is let the mob kill me, and then it'll take me back to the teleporter. But actually using T makes more sense, because when I do this, I won't be 0 on health. So when I go start sweating, I won't just die. So that's nice. Like in life, sometimes when you make mistakes, don't always curse them. Be like, hey, maybe this mistake was leading me to something better, and I had to do one mistake to get to it. You just never know, right? So there's a tale of the Chinese farmer, if anyone wants to watch it on YouTube. It's a good tale. Has a whole story about how a Chinese farmer was talking about that, saying never be so sure that your bad luck is actually bad luck, because it could be something you don't even know. And one of the examples used was that his son broke his leg farming, and everyone in the village was saying, oh man, isn't it bad luck that your son broke his leg? And he's like, is it? Because then the army came the next day to recruit people, took away everyone's kids, except for his son, because his son had a broken leg. He couldn't fight in the war. So he's like, is it? Alright, this place is called the Snowy Stretch. And for some reason, I'm thinking it doesn't have a teleporter. I don't know what it is, that Chinese farmer story gets me going. Now I guess as I just think about all the things that have happened in my life, and I'm like, holy shit, maybe that is the solution. Shouldn't be worried about all the shit, or cursing it. I just think the neighbor's family is going to be coming out soon. It's around 7 a.m. Today I managed to wake up at like 5 a.m. I love the 5 a.m. schedule because it's the best for my workout routines. I don't know if it's the same thing with women, but men, we always have the most energy right in the morning. And by the end of the day, we're almost completely drained. So that's why when you got physical tasks you want your man to complete, it's probably better in the morning, if you catch my drift. Now it's also good though if you want to get shit done. So you wake up at like the fucking crack of dawn, and then a good portion of your morning you'll have full energy. Whereas if you like sleep in till noon, your body is almost in the mode where your whole time you had lots of energy was wasted sleeping. Normally I would just work out as soon as I wake up, but I can't. I have to give at least an hour for my back to solidify. Now each night as you sleep, I don't know if people who don't have back injuries probably don't even notice, but your fucking spine liquefies, and then once you wake up it re-solidifies again. It's a pretty amazing process. But it's dangerous if you have a back injury, because when it's in that liquid state and injured, it's more prone to injury. Like basically how I realized it, when I went camping and I tried to take my tent down, like, wake up, take the tent down, right? And then as soon as I went to lean to pick up the fucking tent poles and stuff, back popped out. It's like, fuck, should have waited for it to solidify. Now, on that back popping out episode actually cost me my best paying job ever. Now, I think I was making close to $30 an hour working in Toronto. But once your back's that fucked and popped out, it's like, man, fuck. it just throws everything off. It's like everything in it I was trying to do that week was just starting to go to shit. There's like a whole series of bad luck incidents. Well, bad luck, good luck, depending how you look at it. I don't know if anyone's heard about the Eaton Center shooting in Toronto that happened years ago. I think it was, what, around 2012 or something? No, I was working in Toronto that week, and I was going to the Eaton Center for lunch that day, that time. And then I forget what happened. It was like my back injury or something. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to go to the Eaton Center. I'm just going to go to some place closer, grabbed like Subway or something. Boom, when I got home, I heard on the news. I was like, holy fuck, man. It's like I just narrowly avoided getting shot. So that's why I'm a little bit harsher on gangs. It's like, I'm kind of fed up with gangs. When they start blaming police for arresting them too much, it's like, fuck that shit. We need twice as much police. Not less. Alright, how do I get in the ship? These new controls are fucking pissing me off. Yeah. Now then, that same week, after almost getting shot, pulling out my back, I was staying in one of the rough neighborhoods in Toronto because I couldn't afford to get nice places when I was working in Toronto, because if I did, then I wouldn't make any money going there. So I had to like stay in the slums. And the one slum I was staying at, it was like, I forget, it was like $20 a night. Like, can you imagine Toronto, how bad that must be? I fucking arrived at the slum, and I'm like, is this a building you could stay in or like a condemned building? I could barely tell. And then there was a guy on the front porch. I'm like, oh fuck, there's a homeless guy here. I'm like, I gotta find the employee and get past this homeless person. And it turned out the homeless person was the employee. I was like, holy fuck. And then when he's checking me into the room, he's like, okay, if you hear gunshots at night, promise you won't call the police. I was like, what? He's like, don't worry, we're just filming movies in the area. And he's like, if you hear gunshots, don't call. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, then when he showed me the room, he's like, do you want to see the room or like a tour of it? I'm like, it's like, I don't have enough money to stay anywhere else, so I was going to accept it no matter what. And then when I get into the room, man, is it nasty. It's like, I didn't even like use the bed, like other than to just lay my blankets on top of it. I didn't even want to touch their blankets. Ah, fuck, I flew the wrong direction. See, I'm blaming Mindark for me wasting ped, and look what I'm doing. Oh yeah, and then when I got into my room, I looked under the bed, and there were still like clothes from the people that had been staying there before. I was like, oh god. It's like, could it kill you to even attempt to clean the room? Oh yeah, and it was a sweltering heat wave. I was working in like, I think it was like, yeah, well, it was around the Eden Center time, so whoever wants to check the news. I think that was like the peak of summer. Anyway, so I'm like, the room is so hot. I gotta open the window. I'm like wondering why the window is closed. And I found out why the window was closed. Then I opened the window, and it happened to be facing an alley. And the alley was like behind some like Chinese food restaurants, and like Kensington Market, Chinatown, whatever. And it just fucking reeked. Like, I don't know where they're dumping like rotten food or whatnot, but holy hell. So it's like I had the choice of either keeping the window closed and like dying of fucking heat exhaustion. Like I was like pouring sweat just like standing naked. Or open the window and be completely fumigated by the smell of the rotten food coming in from the alley. So I guess it wasn't just my whole back, it was like a whole series of events that were leading me to not want to continue that job. Yeah. But it was exciting while I did work there. Like, I don't know, if anyone hasn't tried working in a giant metropolis, it is something else. Like all the hot babes around almost made it worth it. Oh yeah, and the other thing too, when I paid for the fucking hotel, I paid and got a receipt. But when the homeless guy, or may not have been homeless. He may have just been one of those people that never showers and like has like clothes that haven't been changed in months or stuff. But anyways, it's like he was a really nice guy though, so I didn't have anything against him. It's like, well, he was actually one of the most friendly and polite people I met working at that hotel or room. No, so I found out some of the other people that were staying in that building, it was like obviously in Chinatown or Kensington Market, a lot of Asian people that were staying there. And then I found out that that homeless guy was the only employee that could speak English. So once his shift was over, it was like, there goes my translator. And oh yeah, and then when he gave me the receipt, he's like, here's your receipt for the room. But he went and got it from the head office, and none of the words on it were in English. They were all Chinese letters. So I was like, hopefully this receipt says something right, because I can't even read it, right? So I just kind of assumed like, hey, this is correct. And then what do you know, once the guy leaves, the fucking, the people fucking, that were the new people in charge of the hotel, or I guess the original ones, they fucking, as soon as I left, they like, what did they do? They went into my room and started like moving stuff around, like they were like cleaning it out for the next person to rent. And I'm like, hey, it's like I paid for 3 nights, my nights aren't up yet. And they're like trying to get me to show them the receipt. Like the conversation was not going well right off the bat because no one can understand each other. So I showed them the receipt, and they sort of just look at me puzzled, and I look back at them puzzled. I don't even know what the receipt says. But they ended up letting me stay, so I was like, okay. One part of that at least went okay. Alright, where's the teleporter? Yeah, so that was my experience about working in Toronto. If anyone else wants to try working in Toronto, might have better luck. Oh yeah, and then the last call, or the last straw for me working, it's like not even the job itself. The job itself was really awkward too, I found. Because when they hired me, they're like, here's all the job requirements. I'm like, okay, I can meet those. But then I noticed something weird, like all the employees weren't speaking English. So I was like, oh shit, like hopefully speaking English is going to be okay, right? You kind of assume that you're in Canada, English province, working for the city. I won't say where at the city, but no, so I was like, okay, like surely once my shift starts, everyone's going to start speaking English. No. So it turned out I was like a supervisor, was supposed to be supervising a department, but no one could speak English. So I was like, holy fuck, like this is not going well. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be going to the place to land and sweat. It took me so long to get there, almost forgot. Fuck. Alright, where is the landing place? If I was designing these teleporters, the way they have them named is so fucked. I would like have it like arrival place, like destination, trade city. Like instead of naming them fucked up names, like I don't know what the hell Al Nahar means. Call it the fucking ice village. That's the one neat thing about it in Canada with all the different cultures. It's like really, it almost feels like you're traveling to a different country now. Like a lot of places you go, there's going to be no English or French. I'm almost thinking of learning Chinese just to get an edge, so I'll be like able to understand people speaking in my country. Not that I have anything against Chinese people. They're one of the nicest cultures in the world. I'm learning a lot about them. Alright, I'm pretty sure the mob that I'm looking for here is a level 2 or 3 young, and they're either green or blue. Oh yeah, and then because I couldn't speak the language that everyone is speaking at this office I was working for the city, and they were doing like horribly corrupt stuff, like just milking the city for overtime and getting away with doing nothing while they were collecting the money, and like ridiculous amounts, like entire departments doing it. So I was like, holy fuck, man, the corruption and running rampant in the city unions is like off the hook. Like, I'm pretty sure the main reason most people don't talk about it is when you get into unions, you usually have to like sign something, or I think when they signed people in or swore them in, you had to swear you wouldn't tell anyone. And you're like swearing to the queen, I think it was. I was like, what the fuck? But I wasn't actually part of the union. I was actually just supervising the union. So when it came to the swearing the oath part, I'm like, I'm not swearing an oath to not talk to people. And they never even said anything. They're like, you didn't have to actually swear. I guess it was like optional, and everyone in the room just started doing it. And I was like, fuck that. I ain't swearing no oath. It's like, what the hell are you fucking doing here that you're requiring an oath that you have to swear not to tell anyone? Good old union jobs. Like, I don't always hate on unions. Some unions are pretty cool. Like, if they're on their own businesses, not spending taxpayer money, like, fuck, if you can run a union and do that, all the power to you. The only issue I get is when you start fucking forming unions that are just soaking the taxpayer for like fucking billions. It's like, that's when it becomes an issue. That was pretty sick. Found some papillon, but it was only 11, so that was almost useless. Should have just left it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so if anyone wonders why I kind of fucking ream on fucking unions, I haven't had the greatest experience with most unions. I'm sure there's some good ones out there, I just haven't been a part of them. That's the thing, a lot of people love unions because once you're into the union, it's like, holy fuck, it's like you're getting a cut of that corruption. It's like, give me my portion. I won't say a thing. Yeah, and our province is funny too. Like when they hold rallies of unions, it's like sometimes it's like almost like thousands and thousands of people show up. You'll be like, holy fuck, man. It's like, I never realized how many people are getting in on this fucking union taxpayer shit. Like there's like a good chunk of the population have made a living off of it. Probably raised generations of family members off of it. Like I thought welfare exploiters were pretty bad, but to be honest, I look down at union members worse. Like at least welfare people are like, hey, I admit it, I'm milking the taxpayers. Fucking union members are like, oh, those slobs in the private sector can't even make a living to support themselves, like me. And it's like, I'm part of the union. It's like, meanwhile, guess who's paying your union fees? The guy fucking working in the private sector. I'm paying your wages, never forget that. Making fun of me for being poor. Oh, shit. I don't know. I've actually hung out like around a lot of really wealthy people, and that's kind of what led me to do jobs that I like doing and not care about how much it pays, because I don't even really want to get rich. Getting rich tends to corrupt most people. Not everyone. I've met some really nice rich people, but I don't know, it's like absolute power corrupts absolutely. Once you get enough money, it's only a matter of time before you get addicted to cocaine and hookers. You guys ever see that news report where a reporter was going in randomly asking people what they would buy with the lottery winnings? And it was live. So they come up to one guy, they're like, hey man, what would you do with the lottery wins? He's like, fucking more cocaine and hookers. She's like, oh! She's like, viewers, I do not recommend what that man just said. Sorry for laughing so much. So one hard part about doing a stream that you have fun doing is trying not to laugh while doing it. Oh shit, yeah, that's the hour mark for the show. Wasn't even paying attention. I guess I'll run this young right to the end. I was gonna make a comment about that. I'm like, I better not. Oh shit. Now speaking of, should we change the name of the currency in this game? Alright, I really appreciate everyone for watching the show today. I noticed I'm getting tons of likes, well, shitloads, 5 or 6 or so. But if any of you guys could just say thanks in the comment section, it really helps out a lot too. I don't know, I've noticed that everyone talks about doing it for the YouTube algorithms and all that shit, but I really don't care. It's more about just hearing a couple people actually putting in more effort that they're watching the show. I think it boosts my effort to try to put more effort to doing them better. It's like, you're my cheerleaders, guys. I love you. Now, and the main reason I'm doing this whole thing is to try to interact with other people too. So if I'm just doing a show, everyone likes it, then it's not really much interaction going on. Oh yeah, that's the fucking other good news I got. I was gonna say, like, sorry for not getting any Entropian players invited to start coming in on the show via Skype and shit. But as you can tell, I keep having audio sync issues. So I've been trying to work out all the glitches before I do that, and fuck, it's not going well. Or at least it wasn't until yesterday. Excuse me. So instead of just bitching about the problem, I was like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna contact support again. Because XSplit is just like Entropia. You buy a lifetime membership, give them money, they always have customer support ready to help you. So I told them, I'm like, guys, I'm having issues with the audio sync. Things are a little unstable, what can I do? I was thinking they were going to say there's not much we can do, typical support response. But guess what they said? They're like, hey, because you're such an active streamer, or no, they said just because you need help, they're like, we're going to help you with this new version of the game, or the XSplit. It's not even available yet, it's still in beta. Like, and if you can use it, try it, let us know how you like it, and if it works a lot better for you, then let us know. And I'm like, all right, so I got this new version. And it's funny, they said you don't even have to install the old XSplit. This is a whole new XSplit. It's like from scratch, an entirely new program. So I'm like, holy shit, I don't even have to install it, so it's good. And what I'm gonna do is try this new XSplit, see how it goes. And if it works better, fuck, I'm gonna switch right over to it. Then, once I have the new XSplit running, and it doesn't have the audio sync issues, then we should be able to get some guests going. Now, I hope everyone's not too nervous about being guest. I'll try to behave myself. I won't go on about crack. At least for not during the breaks. No, I'm not trying to make fun of crack users. It's like, I've known a lot of people have had drug addictions, and crack with some of them, so not trying to make fun of anyone. It's like tough love. In a way, we should make fun of crack to discourage people from doing it. Now, it's so weird, like, back in high school when I knew some people that got into crack, I was surprised their reasoning for doing it. It's like they even said that the reason they were doing crack is because they've been singing about it all the time. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like they were like really into hip hop and they knew some songs that sung about doing crack. And they said after singing about it all the time, it got them into thinking that they should be doing it. I was like, what the fuck, right? Like, I've always heard about music brainwashing people, but I never knew there was rap music that promotes doing crack. And I was like, that could become some of the issues, right? It's like, that's how church gets you and how the army gets you. It's like, in army, they often have you chant, kill, 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 so that eventually you get over that urge or natural instinct not to kill things. And then what is it in the church? They get you to sing repetitive fucking hymns so that you get used to the whole praying and being good and shit. So I don't know, that whole repeating thing can be dangerous. It's like singing a song about doing something all day is probably not a good idea if you don't want to do it. Man, oh man. Now I think the other thing is too, is that crack's a fucking powerful drug, right? And a lot of people, when they get into low points in their life, will just turn to whatever powerful drug they can find. And if that's what's there. Alright, today have I got an exciting project to do after playing Entropia. Going outside to work in my backyard. I noticed a lot of other people have been posting, cleaning up their backyards. So, same thing, going out to try to move some wood piles, cut some trees, get ready to put down a cement pad. My big goal in life now was, for a long time I was trying to build like a little off-grade cabin up north. The whole up north situation didn't work out, but I've got a little place in the inner city. But I don't own the property, so it's going to be sketch. I could build it and everything will backfire and I'll lose the property, but I'm going to take a chance on it anyways, I figure. I'm at the point where it's like I have no chance either way, so might as well try something. It's better to try than rather than just complain all the time. I know when people hear me on Facebook, they're like, oh, you're complaining a lot. Well, it's usually because in real life I'm doing solutions. And then when I spend time, I balance complaining with actually doing. A lot of the complaining is on Facebook and the actual doing is in real life. Not to like toot my own horn, but it's like if you check out my YouTube archive, it's like I do a lot of different things. Work on, well, I should merge my different vaporizer pages with this one. I used to have a separate page for it, but it wasn't very successful because I wasn't promoting it, because I wasn't sure legally if it was going to work yet. Then after the whole safety trial thing. Sometimes I wonder if the anarchists are right and we would be better off in a society with no laws. But I'm one of those people that likes to follow laws as much as possible. Ah, there we go. Now I'm like a little bit obsessive compulsive, so I like everything neat and orderly, always have to organize everything, even though I have horrible organization skills. I fail at what I'm trying to do. But yeah, but that's why I like laws so much. It's like normally that law or neat and orderly fashion of laws, it's something that I'm naturally drawn to, even though I'm a bit hypocritical. Just a bit. Swear never with laws. Oh, I was so mean. I fucking told that guy I was gonna go sweat. I fucking ditched him, went to the sweat location, just sweated without him. Like, how mean was that? I didn't even lose any health. That's why I didn't realize. Fuck. Goddamn memory. What did I ever do to you? Alright, what was I saying? Just kidding. It's like if you're gonna have a bad memory, just forget about it. Oh. Alright, definitely no more vaporizer for me today. That one, last one, tasted as worse as what you should never do. Yeah, let's say a jumping spider is jumping by your vaporizer, spins some web, and the web has moisture on it, and you're vaporizing moisture from spiders' webs, and it tastes as bad as the last hoot I just had there. Man, then give the video a dislike. But if not, make sure you give it a like, because god damn it, it makes me feel good. know, if you could do it for other reasons, then do it too. Whatever floats your boat. Alright, and remember guys, make sure that you check out the links below. If you hit the little my or more info button, I noticed I look, I'm like, hey, my fucking info isn't in the link. And it's because there's a more info button. So click that, it opens, then you can see all the information. Like I have so much in there that isn't even shown unless you click that more info button. I wish YouTube would change that. But anyways, maybe there's a way around it, and instead of complaining I can find it. Yeah, that's the goal for today's, or motive, or the moral of today's episode, guys. There's a lot of shit that's going wrong. It is good to acknowledge it and complain about it a little, but let's all try to work together and get shit done, right? Let's get her done. Right, take care everyone. See you later. Bye for now. Never buy the product from a sponsor. It'll ruin your life. But subbing to this channel, watching a playlist, it'll help you. I swear. Can you tell when I'm lying?